You missed it there. Hello, everyone. This is your Gaming Forever podcast for the week of June 7th, 2013. Getting close to E3, of course. I'm, as always, Gamerwolf. Today, we have...
I am a turkey.
This is Three Dog Bow Wow, and you're listening to GNR. That's Galaxy News Radio, in case you forgot.
Oh god!
Wow, how we've only been in 37 seconds, and the train's already derailed.
Yeah, my friend Christopher's there.
Anyways,
Yeah, I'm Enigma from GF. Actually, that was a lie. I lied just now.
This is Seth Highwind.
This is T-Dog. Coming from the hood.
oh god.
I want to do a radio intro now.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like I've been too damn professional at this part.
Professionalism? What the fuck is that?
Anyways,
Okay, guys, let's move on. Let's move on.
You haven't introduced yourself, Game Freak.
Oh yes, I am the Game Freak. I love video games.
And I think Punk's just being silent.
I'm Frank West. I've covered wars, you know.
You know.
This is the Wolfman coming at you.
This is the best, worst opening to the podcast ever.
Oh
I'm
my
Yamcha.
god.
I take my wolf fang fist very seriously.
Oh, good lord.
Brendan, you asshole! Shut up.
Oh god.
No, not you. My friend in chat. He's
Oh,
just.
I know. I see him. I see him. Welcome and nice you're contributing to the madness.
And to the
Anyways, yeah. Sorry for the lateness. Crap happened. End of story. Moving on. So we're coming up towards E3. Oh, how much of a clusterfuck is it gonna be?
Amuse me.
Yeah, I have a feeling, well, with Microsoft's, I'm going to say right now, for Microsoft's press conference, break out the popcorn, because you'll need it.
About to say, for Microsoft's press conference, why not break out the booze and make a drinking game out of it?
This is going to be a great E3 or a terrible one. Either way, I'm going to be amused.
My prediction for Microsoft, they've already got planned out what they want to do, and I don't think they're going to diverge from any of that. I think they're just going to give whatever kind of little spiel that they want to give. They're going to ignore all the flack and everything that all the bad press that they were getting. They're basically just going to go up there and act like that's not even happening.
That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they already canceled their questions afterwards and everything. They just want to do their little spiel and get out of the way. That's what I see them doing.
Yeah, and with what has happened this past week, I'm not surprised. So, let's get started with it. First, before we hit the brunt of the bad news, a bit of a leak has happened that Twisted Pixel is making one of the not supposed, it actually is a launch title, one of the launch titles for the Xbox One called Loco Cycle.
That sounds interesting.
Now,
Loco
Cycle, you pretty much play a sentient kung fu using assassin bike.
What?
Excuse me?
I'm not kidding. It's a kung fu using assassin bike.
It is a motorcycle with artificial intelligence.
Okay, I guess my next question is, did Suda51 have anything to do with this game? Because that sounds like something he would do.
That sounds like a Suda game, yeah.
I mean, it's basically, imagine Knight Rider, but with a female voice, and as a motorcycle. And instead of David Hasselhoff, you have this non-English speaking Spanish janitor attached to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not making that up either.
Yeah.
I don't know if to be either impressed or scared, because this is something weird.
No, I'll give you scared. There's a bad guy motorcycle, and I think his name is Spike. I could be wrong.
Wait, is he a chopper?
Yes, he is. He is a chopper.
Oh my god, yes.
This is awesome.
I'm not even done yet. And
We got a sentient ninja bike versus a sentient motorcycle?
well, it's two sentient motorcycles. There's a good one that you play as, and then there's the bad one that's a chopper. Because the good one looks like a like a Japanese kind of speed cycle, like crotch rocket or whatever. But so the bad cycle, okay, so they have celebrity voices.
Oh, so only Japanese bikes are good? Fucking racists.
Yeah, celebrity voices for the game. And the bad guy motorcycle, he's voiced by the guy who played the T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, god, yes.
Look it up.
What is this?
Oh, man.
I think Seth just pissed himself.
No, I'm just...
Okay, I am
just
very
screams
impressed now.
This screams like bad B-movie, and, like, I honestly see this as, like, a Michael Bay production, which would...
You know what? Yes, I see that for me as well. Why is this a movie?
3 Blood Dragon.
Why can't this be like a fucking insane movie, dude?
I know.
The thing about it, I feel bad that I can't remember the actress who plays the player character Cycle. I can't remember her name either. Fuck. But well, then again, I don't even remember the name of the actor who plays the bad guy from Terminator 2. But that is the actor who does the voice for the villain Cycle.
But yeah, it's this will be an interesting friggin' game. I'll tell you that. But yeah, this is confirmed to be a one of the launch titles, and most likely it's one of these exclusives that was said to be coming for the console. So
which console?
That's one down. The Xbox One.
Oh god damn it!
Twisted.
God damn it!
Yeah, dear Twisted Pixel, if you don't make this multi-platform, you're dead to me.
Yes.
This is one of the 8 new IPs, I assume, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, because this was originally supposed to be for the 360.
Mm-hmm. It was shown off at PAX Prime 2012, but things have changed since then.
And see, this also goes back to what I said before, to where, like, you're going to have all these launch titles, but what are they going to be? Shit that was already in development for current generation consoles, but they're going to be up-resed. Although they might get away with it with Loco Cycle, because they'll say, well, it's a downloadable title, so it doesn't have to look as good on Xbox One hardware, despite the fact how Microsoft has been hyping that thing.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Are you okay, Turkey? You seem angry.
I don't know who to pay attention to. Either this guy, either the podcast or the chat. My friend is just being nuts.
Well, he can have something else to be nuts about, because we're going right into the bad zone here.
Oh boy.
Time
to
for
Shitsville.
Yep, Microsoft gave they put up a web page explaining all the little intricacies of the verification system and what they're planning on doing. And it's not good.
You were wrong about us, except you were totally not wrong at all about us.
I'd sigh, but I just ran out of sighs.
Yeah, let's get right to the nitty-gritty here. As I said, Microsoft has clarified some of their policies, which includes the verification system, which, as they say on their website, with Xbox One, you can game offline for up to 24 hours on your primary console, or 1 hour if you're logged onto a separate console accessing your library. Offline gaming is not possible after these prescribed times until you reestablish a connection. But you can still watch live TV and enjoy Blu-ray and DVD movies. Yeah, great. You know, after 24 hours, you got a friggin' DVD player. That's it.
Because that's what I'm probably going to pay upwards to $600 for, a fucking Blu-ray player.
If they hype it up, I can go to Walmart and pick one up for like $60. As far as the Blu-ray player goes.
But shouldn't only be a problem with people who don't have internet connection? And what about people with smartphones with direct contact?
Yeah,
I know people that don't have internet at their house, but they can still get internet from their smartphone.
That's the key point right here. I mean, Microsoft is once again they're having this grand idea thinking, oh, everybody has a broadband internet connection. Let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, guess what? The infrastructure isn't there yet, you idiots.
What about the middle of the country, like the guys in Kansas or some of the middle states, because their internet's notoriously shitty.
Yes,
I live in Northwest Ohio. My internet up here is crap. I live in a rural area, and on top of that, men and women in the U.S. Armed Forces, Microsoft basically told them we don't need your business.
Yeah.
Wait, you live in Ohio? You live in Northeast Ohio?
Northwest Ohio.
Out of curiosity, do you use that that satellite internet?
You're in my area, dude.
Oh well, still. Yeah, I mean, we have like a wireless internet connection, basically.
They always make a non-online version for the armed forces, but then that tells me that you're just basically solving a problem that didn't need to exist at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this stuff has not yet begun to suck. Okay. In another post that explains the friggin' licensing part, which is, we're talking used games and that, after signing in and installing, you can play any of your games from any Xbox One because a digital copy of your game is stored on your console and in the cloud. So, for example, while you're logged in at your friend's house, you can play your games. Up to 10 family members can log in and play from your shared games library. Now, yeah, this further proves that, guess what? Disc, obsolete. They don't want discs anymore. But
I'm not against an all-digital console, but if you're going to make it all-digital, just fucking do it.
Yeah, but
let's not have this pussy baby thing where it's kind of retail, but it's kind of digital. If you're going to make it digital, just make it fucking digital. I don't care. That's fine.
Now, here's where we get to
Can I interest you in the PSP Go?
It doesn't even have access to all the PSP games.
There's no such thing as a PSP Go.
As well as having to previously rebuy all of the games you.
Because we are probably going to end up being on digital in the near future. It's probably going to happen.
Unfortunately,
I hope it doesn't yet.
Anyways,
it's not even a question of if at this point; it's a question of when, because developers and publishers will benefit so much from it, probably to our dissatisfaction, but
yeah,
I digress.
But anyways, now as I said, this leads up to the used games front, and it says that used games, it's up to the publishers. Xbox One is designed so game publishers can enable you to give your disc-based games to your friends. There are no fees charged as part of these transfers. There are 2 requirements though. You can only give them to people who have been on your friends list for at least 30 days, and each game can only be given once.
Oh my god!
Look, people.
A whole month.
On the plus side, if a developer wants you to, you can trade in your games. On the downside, if they don't want you to, you can't.
Look, people, all we did was we buried the mines in the minefield, and we set up the positions. It's up to the publisher whether or not if they want to arm them.
It's up
just like people who buy games digitally already. I mean, once you buy it, you're stuck with it.
Yeah. And Microsoft also adds to the shitty news, in our role as a game publisher, Microsoft Studios will enable you to give your games to friends or trade in your Xbox One games at participating retailers.
Oh, are they not
participating? Best Buy.
Yeah, third-party publishers may opt in or out of supporting game resale and may set up business terms or transfer fees with retailers. Microsoft does not receive any compensation as part of this. In addition, third-party publishers can enable you to give games to friends. Loaning or renting games won't be available at launch, but we are exploring the possibilities with our partners.
So
really?
That tells me that until the controversy didn't even consider the fact that people could loan or rent games.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact, like, the mom and pops like game stores, those people are fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are screwed, and that's horrible. That is totally horrible for the industry. I mean,
GameFly and Redbox.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think GameFly will figure out something.
GameFly will not be able to survive because they won't have any, at least not on Xbox One. They'll probably just switch to PS4 exclusivity.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to the arguments, like when people were speculating about something like this happening, of an always online console and a console that blocks used games. Retailers, if they don't like that policy, they can refuse to even carry it. And I have to wonder if any of them are going to have the balls to do that.
Who knows?
Well, GameStop probably would.
Yeah, GameStop probably would.
GameStop is livid right now.
Yeah, they
actually, ironically enough, this benefits the hell out of GameStop because it eliminates their competition, the mom and pop shops.
Mm-hmm.
That basically makes GameStop the only place you can trade in a used game for the Xbox One because they'll make that deal. So
yeah, but the question is, will they make that deal?
Enigma.
Which goes back to when a GameStop executive praised the new Microsoft console.
Wow.
This paradoxically helps GameStop.
I'd rather not think about it, honestly.
True. Again, until see like an official statement like coming out like GameStop and that. Well, it's just a wait and see kind of scenario for them.
The problem with GameFly is that when you do a rental service like that, it's basically the same thing as the Armed Forces issue. You need to make your own thing to solve a problem that didn't need to exist in the first place.
Yeah.
Lastly, Microsoft also added about the Kinect, reaffirming their privacy standards on that, saying that when Xbox One is on, you're simply having a conversation in your living room, your conversation is not being recorded or uploaded. If you don't want
the recent NSA scandal, that is very, very hard to not take with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And they also said if you don't want the Kinect sensor on while playing games or enjoying your entertainment, you can pause Kinect. To turn off your Xbox One, just say Xbox off. When the system is off, it's only listening for one single voice command, Xbox on.
The fact that they have to make so much trouble to come out and clarify that is, it's ridiculous.
It's retarded.
It's really sad.
Yep. Now, some fans have come out and said some pretty nice things about what has happened with these statements that Microsoft put out about the Xbox One. Mainly in the fact that pretty much with what they're doing, Xbox One actually kills game ownership. You don't really technically own your game anymore. It's not a physical copy. It's just digital. And some people have come out and just said, pretty much screw you, Microsoft. I mean, here's what a couple people have had to say. One user by the name of Matthew pretty much summed it up perfectly. So essentially, if my internet goes out for more than 24 hours, I got a $400 plus shiny brick. Yeah.
It's basically all the things that people don't like about Steam without all the benefits that we tacitly that Valve gives us, so we can tacitly accept the downsides of Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, a user by the name FearMonkey pretty much says the same thing. It says, a shiny liquid black Blu-ray player that won't be able to play games once they turn off the servers. I can still play my PlayStation, 3DO, Saturn, Dreamcast, Xbox, and older consoles, no problem. But retro Xbox One is not going to happen. Essentially, they sell you an expensive box that allows you to play the games you license but do not own. A box that needs Microsoft to run or do anything. Forces you to use their service for a yearly or monthly fee to get the most features out of the box without the sales or prices of Steam on PC, and unlike Steam, won't allow you to play offline for longer than 24 hours. It's essentially a very corporate hardware version of Steam without the benefits Steam offers or the sales. It's a corporate publisher dream come true, and it's a consumer nightmare.
Well, Steam offers.
I would rather just shoot myself in the foot right there, please. Hand me the gun, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot.
More than just the sales, they also offer tons of services like the cloud saves, for more importantly, so that you can play from any console anywhere.
That's also, yes.
It's just...
Not to mention chat as well. And let's see what else. They also allow a lot of independent games to work with them as well. That's another plus.
It's
shit.
It's not something that should really be a one-to-one relationship, especially, trying to compare. I mean, they want their console to be like the PC market. That's not what you should be doing.
No, you really shouldn't be doing that.
Microsoft should be focusing on their console competition instead of trying to compete with the PC market.
And the thing Microsoft has a digital store already, is notorious for having things at $60 months after release.
Yeah, because they don't believe in the idea of their games depreciating in value. That's a lot of reasons
why. In fall, when it was like 65 to like 80% off.
Oh yeah, but I mean, even still, like at this point in the day, Microsoft is just price gouging their consumers, expecting consumers to, continue to put up with this perpetual bullshit.
Well, there was used to be a time when Microsoft was actually a good company.
They're doing what Sony did, and they're taking their customers for granted.
Yep,
exactly.
And that's going to bite them in the ass.
Sony had to learn from that, and Microsoft is going to either pull up from the console space.
They have to learn at some point.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last console they make.
Oh, me neither.
Oh, no. They've said that even if the gaming division fails, Xbox will remain strong.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I call so much bullshit on that. Anyways, just to add a couple...
It may remain strong outside the gaming console. We haven't thought about that.
About what?
That it might have appeal as a...
It might be a very good entertainment device for some people.
Compared to other ones in the market, I'm not sure about that either.
Yeah.
Like a smart TV that's like over $1,000.
Okay, the regular HD TV plus an Xbox, that's almost $1,000 right there too.
You can like $120 now. Like in 360, it's not that expensive now.
Yeah, it really isn't.
Or if you're still, wanting to get some sort of like HD console, either price up for a PS4, hell, get a Wii U since it has about every single, entertainment feature that the Xbox One is praising, such as being able to connect to your cable or satellite box and watch things via the Wii U.
Yeah. Two more users I want to quickly quote before we move on. One user by the name of Costas said this: if you rent games, Xbox One is not for you. If you trade games with your friends, Xbox One is not for you. If you don't have a good connection, Xbox One is not for you. And if you don't want to support these kinds of policies and restrictions because you love games and you know the impact this will have to the future of gaming, then Xbox One is definitely not for you. Perfectly summed up there. And last quote, user by the name of Arrow22 down here said, it would have been easy to fix with a small alteration. Online check not needed if the user inserts the disc. As it stands, no way. I have suffered with SimCity enough to know that this is a terrible platform.
I'd like to amend my previous statement. This is actually worse than what I said earlier. This is all of the bullshit that Steam has, with none of the things that people have grown accustomed to with console gaming, plus none of the things that people like about Steam, plus all of the things people hate about Microsoft.
Hello.
It's just a concentrated pile of hate of everything we hate.
It's like none of the things I like and all the things I don't like.
I think Punk's trying to say something.
Concentrated form, that's what it is. It's in concentrated form.
Punk, go ahead.
I was going to say about Enigma's point way earlier about how it hurts the mom and pop stores and all that jazz.
Oh, go ahead.
Around because the mom and pop stores don't give a fuck. None of the modern consoles are what brings them in for sales. It's all those old school stuff. And they're
True. I've seen like a couple of mom and pop stores actually carry like older stuff, like actual NES games or Super NES games. So
yeah, I mean, best say whenever I need to get like my my retro game collection, some sort of upstart, I go to those mom and pop stores all the time because they generally have the last one I went to had Castle of Illusion for $10. Compared to like what Amazon and eBay sell it for nowadays.
Yeah.
Wait, but aren't they only in certain places? Because there isn't one in Chicago. I tried to look one up.
They're random. They're random, to be honest.
Mom and pop shops are always random, dude.
But if you find one and they like carry like all these like old titles, I mean, God, it's like
it's heaven.
Yeah, it's a treasure trove if you've got the old consoles.
And you have their own prices, which is good because I'm pretty sure the Xbox One's going to be like $60. No, $80, and then the mom and pop stores are going to
actually, that's been clarified. Prices on games are actually going to stay the same, so $60.
Nice.
That's a nice thing,
nice.
Although the PS4 is making it as anything that's $60 or less for their games.
$60 or less. I love it.
And a counter-argument to the trading in, who's going to want to buy your games in the first place if your console has this much crap spewed on it?
Yeah, seriously, this is a total waste of money.
People
the bros. The crazy bros.
There is going to be a point, and I will admit this, that we will have an all-digital way of life. It's going to happen eventually. Probably not no time soon, but Microsoft is trying to drag us in there, and I don't think they'll ever succeed with the way they're doing it.
Yeah. No, maybe when everyone in the world has like 60 terabytes on the computers, maybe, but not now.
I know.
The biggest thing about the Xbox One in general is that this is the purest form of a console where all games are services. It's
basically,
they're
trying to push this games are services, which has been bullshit for years. We all know that's a load of crock of shit.
Yeah, just again, break out the popcorn when Microsoft starts their Xbox conferences. It will be interesting, but probably not in a good way.
All I'm saying is that Skyrim is not a service.
No,
pretty much. Anyways, moving on, a little bit of PS4 news. Sony has announced that on day one of the release of their console, DC Universe Online, PlanetSide 2, and Warframe will all be available for download and play on the PS4.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yep. The DCU Online, PlanetSide 2, they weren't exactly surprises because Sony's got stake in them. They helped develop those games. Warframe, though, was the complete come out left field. Because that is not done by Sony at all. That is done by Digital Extremes.
Yeah, and Warframe is so interesting simply because that game is what Dark Sector started out as before it became Dark Sector.
Oh, seriously? Wow.
Ooh. You seriously? Go back to you look at like some of the videos from 2005 that when Digital Extremes was first announcing Dark Sector, and they were showing like these trailers like this is what it's going to look like on PS3, before the PS3 was out. And when you look at those videos, that's what Warframe looks like now. But that's not what Dark Sector turned out to be. It's just so amazing. Like, in Warframe, you play as these outer space ninjas called the Tenno, but in Dark Sector, you played as this dude whose last name was Tenno.
That's true.
Look it up. Prove me wrong.
That's a very original title.
Just like calling your protagonist John Everyman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to blame the guy, all this stuff that's shared in common with the same developer. I'm not going to blame him for him. I actually think it's kind of fascinating, but...
I want a Japanese game where the protagonist is named Shin Obi.
I want a game where I play as Chris Beefsteak. Mystery Science Theater reference there if you don't get it.
Yeah. But
just thinking a minute.
Anyways, but yeah, this is pretty good for the PS4. I mean, well, this guarantees that there will be games for it on like just straight up launch day one. And again, the fact that DC Universe Online, PlanetSide 2, that's they're givens, and they're still pretty popular games, especially PlanetSide. Still, PlanetSide's very active. Mm-hmm. But again, for Digital Extremes, they jumped on the bandwagon of the PS4 and said, "Hey, you know what? You guys can have Warframe on the PS4."
Yeah, and
that's a pretty nice move.
Yeah, and those are, they're all free to play, which Sony has done a really good job of kind of embracing that market. I mean, it's something they've already had experience with, and it took Microsoft forever to try to put out anything remotely free to play on the 360. Although at the same time, I don't know anybody who's been playing Happy Wars recently.
Yeah, not really.
I feel terrible for thinking this, but the moment you said Sony's been embracing free to play, I thought so is EA.
Oh God.
Seriously.
I feel terrible for thinking that.
Yeah, you need to kind of like...
For shame.
Yeah. Anyways, next up, two little bits of Nintendo news. First up, there came a bit of a rumor that the Wii U Basic would not be sold anymore at GameStop.
People complain too much about the memory.
I'm assuming that's a false rumor.
Yeah, the original report was that a trusted retail source told Kotaku that by June 18th, GameStop would no longer be selling the Wii U Basic, and all stores which would have unsold Wii U Basics will be urged to gather them up and return them.
Why is it always Kotaku?
I have no idea. Anyways, Nintendo then gave a statement to Polygon about the recent rumors and said that, to clarify, Nintendo is working with its retail partners to simply rebalance the stock of the white 8GB and the black 32GB Wii U models in the market. Consumers looking for either model will continue to find them available. So, yeah, total rumor debunked.
Yeah, it seems kind of silly. I mean,
yeah, really. I mean, why get rid of one version of your console and just no? It doesn't make any sense.
Why would GameStop stop selling it?
Yeah, that too.
It makes no sense.
I mean, you know, as many people, like, you know, the hardcore gamers that are going to look at it and say, this one's got more memory and this one comes with more stuff, and also I think the white one looks stupid, so I want the black one. Families, however... Yeah, parents who are buying this, you know, obviously the lower price is what looks more attractive. Like, oh, does the same thing? Yeah, get the cheaper one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even at the time, you know, memory isn't really an issue as long as, you know, get yourself a new, like, a really cheap external hard drive. Because at that point, you know, who gives two shits about the memory at that point?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you just get a cheap, if you just get a cheap external hard drive,
on the other hand,
there you go.
It feels kind of cheap that Nintendo just didn't package one in. It does feel kind of cheap on Nintendo's part.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, next up, the other bit of Nintendo news comes actually out from a statement from IDOS themselves. And they said that, yeah, Nintendo should have their IP on every platform. Here we go again.
Dumb.
At the Bristol Games Hub in Southwest England, IDOS president Ian Livingston said that Nintendo should have their IPs on every platform, saying that otherwise a whole generation of young people will miss out on their games. Seriously?
I can see where his sentiment is coming from, even if I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I kind of don't. I kind of don't, simply because of the fact that, you know, people who have kids that are buying these, you know, for their kids, when you want to talk about the new generation of gamers, you know, parents know full damn well what Nintendo is and what Nintendo makes and why it is perfect for their kids, as opposed to these Call of Duty machines and Grand Theft Auto machines out there. So, I kind of see it as irrational, especially like parents who aren't buying like the Wii U, but like parents who are buying their kids a 3DS. You know, I mean,
I think what he's trying to say is that he's afraid that they're about to pull a Dreamcast, and because of that, he should probably go the route that Sega had to go through, in that they had to start switching to being a development-only house instead of a game console manufacturer.
Unfortunately, I don't see Nintendo.
I don't agree with the sentiment
doing that.
I think
and not only that, here's the big reason. There's nothing stopping them from buying Nintendo hardware. I mean, it says, you know, in part of this article, you know, it explains that, you know, this has been just said so many times over and over again that there is zero evidence that Nintendo would gain anything from becoming a third-party publisher. They would actually lose. And, you know, just to have to say that, it's just, yeah, I can understand the fear to it, but at the same time, there's no real barrier to prevent people from getting the Wii U. There's shortage.
Sometimes there's a differential between what you have, all these bullshit analysts, Michael Pachter, and all of these... forget it. Fuck Michael Pachter. There, I said it. But
you're glad I nixed that. Yeah, you'll be glad I nixed that article. Actually, I was thinking like that. Oh, should I put this in? No, I hate this bastard. Go away.
Pachter article. Fuck him.
But you know, there's a difference. Sometimes there's a difference between what all the websites are saying, that it's all doom and gloom for Nintendo, and sometimes the reality, which is, you know, sometimes sales may not be as bad as everybody is saying that it is.
I don't know if they'll be as strong as the Wii, but I think they'll probably be fine.
The Wii was a hard act to follow.
Yeah, but at the same time, again, as we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, or whenever the hell that show was, the makeup show, we talked about the fact that Wii U sales spiked on Amazon after that Xbox One reveal.
Which should not surprise anybody.
No.
Nope.
Nintendo's going to be fine. I mean, really, they're not going to have to go the third-party route. The Wii U's going to recover, and I'm pretty sure that once we see what they've got up their sleeves E3-wise, they're going to start firing
it. Be bad Wii U's left and right.
The only thing I hope for the E3, their Nintendo Directs, reveal Retro Studios' project, please.
Nintendo will struggle until games come out, at which point they'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from that. Now let's move on towards the little story about Prey 2. First up,
Prey 2.
Yeah. First up, Jason L. Blair did put up a tweet on his Twitter saying that he was heartbroken when Prey 2 actually went into limbo, and that Human Head deserved to have that game released. Excuse me. Sorry. Jason Blair was the former narrative head designer of Human Head Studios and was helping to work on Prey 2. He is now, however, the creator of Little Fears, and he's also the writer behind the upcoming what the fuckness is Saints Row 4.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyways, Blair worked on the game for 6 months, and he stated that the game going into limbo, there was a rumor going around that was due to internal politics. Yeah, it was due to internal politics. He said that Prey only... He stated that the rumor about Prey 2 only being a demo period, it was also being said that the Prey 2 game was only just being a tech demo. It was a total bold-faced lie, and Human Head had made the full game, was in process of making the full game. Now, this also leads into another story that totally links up to it, in the fact that, there's also another rumor that Bethesda tried to bully Human Head into selling themselves for a cheap price due to the development of Prey 2.
What?
Yeah, IGN, speaking to multiple sources in a recent article, has some insight saying that the publisher, Bethesda, denied further funding of the project and started failing milestones, and started renegotiating on supposed verbal promises to give the development team more time to polish and finish the game. Said that Bethesda was bleeding Human Head dry, and that Human Head refused an attempted hardball buyout by the publisher, which resulted in Prey 2 ending up in limbo and Human Head getting cut from Bethesda entirely.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow. Seriously?
So, yeah, Prey 2's got a little bit of a tainted past now, which is sad because, well, Arcane Studios is now picking up the pieces, though they're not really picking up the pieces. They're starting from scratch.
I'm not saying I don't believe the guy, but I'm saying that his statements are really hard to prove. I don't know.
Especially given Bethesda's track record.
That's the thing that's bugging me, because given their track record, this doesn't seem like something they would do. And I'm not saying he's lying, because there is a possibility he's telling the truth, for all I know. I don't know the answer for sure. So I don't know his state of mind, I don't know the facts behind the actual circumstances. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm skeptical.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that would say, well, why isn't he the only one, or why is he the only one that's saying anything? For all we know, he could have been the only one that had the balls to come forward.
And equally, for all we know, he might have misunderstood. Here's the point there. He might be telling the truth from his side, but what he's thinking is true might not actually be true. We really don't know for sure.
We don't have all the details.
Yeah. But still, Blair did confirm that it was due to internal politics, so it may be partly true about this, but you never know. Some dirty things happen in the world of business. and some business decisions like this just end up in total disaster.
That's true. Business is a dirty business.
It's again sad to see just Prey 2 to actually have this little bit of a tainted past to it, and then
Are
Arcane.
there any Prey fans left?
I have no idea.
Because
who knows if any of those possible fans maybe will come back.
I
after
still
they see...
have my PC copy of it.
Because I mean, I'm wondering if that's a huge enough market to even warrant keeping it in development.
Well, again, this is completely being done from scratch. Arcane Studios is not keeping any of the assets whatsoever.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm just posing the question.
I never played Prey myself, but I did have a little minifigure. But I am hoping that Prey 2 does come in development soon.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it turns out, because it's definitely not going to be like what we saw, back in E3 2011, the whole bounty hunter thing.
If Prey 2 gets published, I mean, there's bound to be some people saying like, okay, did we make that one? Great. Fuck never doing a Prey 3, because both of those games have had these storied, complicated histories of being made.
Yeah.
Worse than most.
Oh yeah. Moving on to some more bad news. Zynga forced to make major layoffs. Approximately 18% of the staff had to be cut, which is about 520 staff members. Part of the cuts...
Good Lord!
Yeah, part of the cuts, Los Angeles, Dallas, and New York studios are going to be shuttered. And some games from the shuttered studios will also be following the developers' fate, such as Zynga's Los Angeles in progress title. It was actually released. Sorry, Empires and Allies will be taken offline June 17th. This move comes as a way to sustain the struggling publisher, which estimates it will save anywhere in the ballpark of an estimated $70 to $80 million.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that
Zynga is also reporting to respect a loss of anywhere from 39 to 28.5 million for their second quarter.
Not surprised.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, Zynga. They've had so much legal trouble that the legal bills alone of having to hire lawyers and everybody, as well as just not to mention the fact one of the companies that were suing them was EA. Take a swing at the king, better not fucking miss.
Now,
pretty much.
I don't like Zynga, and I've been kind of public about that. However, they are one of the few companies out there that do hire college grads in the game industry.
But at the same time, the reason I don't care for Zynga myself is because of a lot of the plagiarism that goes on.
Yeah, they're notorious plagiarists.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but out of all those cuts, I think a lot of that had to do with the people that made Draw Something.
Yeah, and that moves on to the story that links to this one. Zynga has shut down Draw Something developer OMG Pop.
Not surprised.
This really, really hurts. Though, apparently the people at OMG Pop didn't exactly take it so hard. To quote an official tweet from the company, while this is the last day at Zynga for many OMG Pop staff, we want to thank you for all the love and awesomeness over the years. And when asked, OMG Pop's account said, to a bar as quickly as possible. Yeah, it's even said that even employees at OMG Pop are actually happy to get the hell out of there.
Really?
I don't blame them. I don't blame them for wanting to celebrate this.
Wow.
So yeah, it's sad to see another developer bites the dust because them being bought out by another a publisher that's really kind of just people are realizing, hey, guess what? These guys aren't exactly original.
Nah.
Not original.
And again, they're one of the few companies that actually hire college graduates. That is people trying to break into the industry, it makes it just that much tougher.
Yeah, that is a total
because most of the companies out here won't even hire you unless you have experience in the industry.
That's what it goes with all forms of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a writer for a comic book company in Japan.
Yeah.
I have to clarify that. In Japan.
Yes, exactly.
You're still mad about One More Day.
They'll tell you to...
I think every Spider-Man fan is still mad about it One More Day. That is infamous, and it is the comic that will never die.
Hey, it's actually a good game, so hush up about it.
Yeah, there are things.
Infamous is good.
Anyways, yeah, it's wish the best of luck to those that had to lose their jobs, but glad to see OMG Pop taking it lighthearted.
Yeah.
Next up, the Free Space IP is now back in the hands of its original publisher, Interplay. Polygon has discovered that the intellectual property for the classic Space Combat has been sold to its original publisher for a paltry $7,500. Free Space was originally developed by Volition, which is also best known for the Saints Row franchise, but due to the collapse of THQ, Volition was sold to Koch Media, and now court documents are showing that Interplay now owns the Free Space franchise once again.
I'm waiting to see how long it is before they go to Kickstarter and say, okay, here's our next big game for Free Space or Descent or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing, though, Interplay hasn't really been very productive. I mean, they're looking like they could go down.
In the past 5 years, what have they really done that was of note?
Interplay, I mean, last I heard, I mean, they weren't really too big of a company. Like, maybe like a handful of dudes that are... Yeah.
Interplay was not exactly...
Either at Obsidian or at In Exile.
I don't know about Interplay, guys. I mean, the only games I can remember from Interplay was probably Clay Fighter.
The only games I remember from Interplay are the Fallout games and
Fallout,
and they're basically, and all those guys are basically gone from that company.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they're either working at Obsidian or In Exile.
Yeah. So who knows? But probably maybe a Kickstarter, but I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt because of just Interplay's total lack of just putting out anything.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see that. I mean, Interplay's known for the early Fallouts, MDK, even Earthworm Jim.
Redneck Rampage.
Oh, wait, I thought Earthworm Jim was made by another guy.
No, he was working with Interplay, but he left.
And he's now doing Omicrog. Good for him.
Yep.
Actually, I wonder how that Kickstarter's doing, actually.
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, go ahead. As we move on to the next one. Next up, Telltale Games has been maybe a little bit busy, as they have hinted a mystery title via Vine. They recently put up a mystery video of an unknown game on its Vine account, no doubt taking some notes from Bethesda's Vine tease that they pulled last week. Titled Day 2, the Vine video shows a bulletin board full of photos and information and ends with a mysterious hand placing another photo of a man named Vince. While there's a possibility that it could be related to their Fables title, A Wolf Among Us, there's rumor going around that it's due to the art style, it looks like something for their the Walking Dead series.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but this is the first time I saw the Vine profile. I'm like, yeah, that looks like filming they might do for Walking Dead Season 2.
Yeah, especially considering how successful Walking Dead was. If they're going to start a hype train for anything, yeah.
Yeah, considering how well known and loved that game is at this point.
Oh, yeah. and as what we've been
so
having,
much so that it's basically the definitive Walking Dead experience at this point now.
Totally agree on that. And as well, we've been having for the past few other stories we've had, this links into another story where a little find in the Steam database hints at possible new Walking Dead DLC. Now,
for which one?
For
the first one.
Yeah, for
the good
Telltale. Yeah, Telltale. We're talking Telltale Games.
Not Survival Instinct.
No,
not
that's
good. That's good.
Yeah. A new listing in the Steam database seems to offer the promise of such a DLC. The said entry is titled Walking Dead 400 Days DLC, and this does go along with their Vine teaser that was titled Day 2. There's also a couple other Vine teasers called Day 184, Day 220, and Day 236.
That sounds like an interesting title.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to speculate what that even is. I'm just.
It could be a documentary of like the zombie apocalypse for the first 400 or so days. In a sense.
Oh man.
Let's hope it's not based after the movie.
There was a Walking Dead movie?
Not yet.
Well, it's called War Z.
No,
Okay,
you're talking about World War Z. Forget that.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
except
War Z. We're talking about Walking Dead.
Yeah, we're talking.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And even besides, the World War Z movie has nothing to do with the book.
I know. I'm just saying.
I will say that whatever it is, I mean, it's probably going to be. I don't want to say too similar to the TV show, but I know Robert Kirkman. That guy has come out on record and said that the origins of what caused the plague, as well as whatever kind of cure there could be, we may never really see. Like,
it's not important.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the people.
Yeah.
It's about how do these random losers in the zombie apocalypse, how do they react to each other?
Like, I know Kirkman has already kind of come out on record and said, like, if he ever decides to end this, he said the ending would probably never be anything as simple as, we figured it out, here's the cure. Like, it's never going to be
it would probably be a really
fall,
depressing ending.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
It'll be like the Game of Thrones reaction.
Oh, God.
Several million people die at once.
I still need to watch that show.
I have the books, but I have HBO.
Oh, good.
I saw the Critical Miss comic on The Escapist. It had one person, she was labeled someone who's read the books. Another person labeled someone who hasn't read the books. And the person who read the books said, "Oh, you're watching the Game of Thrones?" She goes and gets a bag of popcorn, and she says, "Okay, proceed." And she has an evil grin on her face.
Oh, God.
That's what I did with my friends for the last episode. I just evilly grinned when the slaughter happened, and I actually started cheering it on.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey, Seth, you're a horrible person.
Jeez,
No,
Seth,
I've just been waiting for this moment since Season 3 began.
Oh.
Right. It reminds me of when I went into the theaters knowing how Breaking Dawn Part 2 was supposed to end.
Oh, you're a bastard, man.
Yeah,
I
fucking
assume it's
dream
not from reading the
sequence.
books. At least I hope to God it's not from reading the books.
No, Movie Bob pretty much spoiled it for me, and that was what kind of made me think, okay, I've got to go see this in theaters and witness it myself.
Fucking dream sequence. Fucking dream sequence.
All I'm gonna say is I've never seen anything more beautiful than a physical wave of what the fuck sweep over an entire audience of people.
Oh, God. Moving on. Next up, a little bit of an interesting event happened with the Tekken producer Katsuhiro Harada. He somehow went missing.
Missing?
What? Yeah, Nintendo Bandai. They announced that Katsuhiro Harada, the famed producer of the Tekken series, has not shown up to work for over a week and is considered missing by his coworkers. They used his official Twitter to notify his fans of Harada's absence. However, 4 hours after their tweet about Harada missing, the team came out again to say that while Harada hasn't shown up to work or contacted his coworkers, his Steam account has been logged into daily. Now, now.
Oh, that's not suspicious in the least bit.
I know, right? Now, taking a look at Harada's Twitter feed, last updated on Sunday, May 26th, and he mentioned that he was excited for a couple games that were available on Steam and like having sales and that, such as Strike Zero and Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now,
wow.
A day after, Katsuhiro Harada reported. He reported on, I think it was his Twitter, I believe. He said that he had a cold he had a cold and a fever, so he was home drinking tequila and getting some work done.
Yeah,
because tequila is the best way to cure a cold.
Yeah.
Oh.
He also said that Ono got a new car late last month, so I took it for a test drive and cleared some games I had piled up, such as Crysis 3, BioShock, and Metro. I believe it was Metro Last Light.
What's more surprising?
So he pretty much ignored calls from the office.
What's more surprising, that he went missing or that he plays Call of Duty Black Ops?
I don't know. But yeah, good to see he was alright. He just was sick and drinking.
Just saying, famous fighting game developer, fucking Call of Duty. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, really.
I just think it's funny. It's like
is with quotation marks.
Next Call of Duty game is going to have Tekken in it.
Okay.
No. Tekken will have Sergeant Price as a playable character.
Oh God!
What's his special move? Send dog to attack?
It'll be specially trained Navy SEAL dogs that have been scanned to the game.
Yes.
All you fuckers are wrong. For a Tekken game, the playable character is going to be the dog.
Yeah, exactly. That friggin' dog.
I want to see the dog fight the fucking panda bear in the game.
Oh God, you fight the panda bear, or fight Kuma, or forget what was his name? What was his name? Ricky.
It's funny because Kuma
Ricky is the kangaroo.
Yeah.
Roger.
Oh, Roger. Okay, I've been playing friggin' Oracle of Ages and Seasons. God damn it. Anyways, moving on from that. We got quite a bit. Next up, bad news for those that were hoping for the spiritual sequel to Eternal Darkness. Precursor has pulled the Kickstarter campaign for Shadow of the Eternals and has said that they plan on reworking their pitch for Kickstarter. They said that this doesn't mean we're going away, far from it. We will be relaunching the Kickstarter in just a few short weeks with a reveal of these exciting new developments that we have planned for the game. As we are closing the current Kickstarter campaign, not a single dime from this campaign will be removed from its supporters' accounts, and everyone from our website's crowdfunding campaign will receive full refunds via PayPal.
That's because that's how Kickstarter works.
Yeah.
Yeah. It honestly doesn't surprise me that this happened. Not in the least.
Yeah, with all the controversy going around Dennis Dyack and his past.
Yeah, because Kickstarter is the only
X-Men Destiny. So
well, I don't know anything about his past, but I do hope this game is a sequel off of the Eternal Darkness game.
2 Human and X-Men Destiny.
If you want to know why no publishing company in the gaming industry is going to give Dennis Dyack money, just go to Google and look up what went wrong with X-Men Destiny.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That basically signifies every single issue with the guy. I mean, it would have been nice to see this gone through, yes, but at the same time, with the way how they were pushing it, it was
never going to succeed.
No.
Yeah, Dennis Dyack is a crazy person, like not in the right way either. But moving on.
Yeah.
Great games in the past, but that was in the past. His recent stuff has been terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, before we continue on, speaking about Kickstarter, I just found Omicrog. They are still $500,000 short of the main goal, and they have 17 days left.
Oh, that's fine. They still got quite a bit left of time.
What's their goal?
If you know a friend who has a lot of money that he does not need, tell him to put that money into Omicrog.
If I remember correctly, I think their goal was like $900,000, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So they're still less than halfway finished.
You know what? I gotta get this off my chest. Getting back to Dennis Dyack and how fucking crazy he is. I played through 2 Human, and I remember his hype for that because he said, the story, like, people would be able to get it if they knew about Norse mythology and things like that. I studied Norse mythology in high school. I didn't get a damn thing about that story. It still confused the fuck out of me.
Well, you played as the Norse god of being a total pussy.
Yeah.
Woohoo, Loki?
No, Boulder.
No.
Oh.
He has a gate. That's all I know about him.
Yeah, it's sadly I have to say, Precursor, please drop Dennis. Get him the fuck out, and maybe this will happen.
Or if you're still gonna use him, just push him to the side and don't make his existence publicly known.
Exactly.
Yeah, put him to the side.
Yeah.
Keep him as a cameo appearance, not the star of the show.
Yeah.
Probably is a nice guy, as Legion Money says. If I've talked to him, he'd probably be a nice guy. I just don't trust his record.
Yeah, the track record's just way too dirty.
I would not like. That was the main reason why I didn't fund this Kickstarter campaign. Is I don't trust that guy whatsoever.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't cut himself, I'll talk to him.
Oh God, it's Dennis Dyack emo. That'd be. I don't think I want to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
No. Anyways, next up, a little bit of good news, bad news coming towards EVE Online. EVE Online servers had to be taken down due to a denial of service attack. Yeah, on the 3rd of June, EVE Online, no, actually the 2nd of June, pardon me, they had to take down their servers for most of the day, which include also the servers. This includes the servers for both EVE Online and also for Dust 514. This was all due to a distributed denial of service attack, which was launched against the Tranquility server cluster and prevented players from logging into the game. During the downtime, CCP made sure that this denial of service attack was stopped and that the server's weak point was fixed, making any further attacks impossible. And the company made sure that this attack was only affected the server's ability to let players log in. No personal data was accessible or compromised. Now, the good news part of it, because of this, CCP gave compensation. CCP Games stated that they gave out to all EVE players that their characters got a nice little bonus of 50,000 unallocated skill points.
Uh-huh.
And also, Dust 514 players are planning on to get also some compensation, but as of right now, CCP has not stated what that compensation will be.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, that's very nice. I mean, 50,000 skill points. Holy crap!
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
The thing about CCP is that. Sure thing. It's okay. Now, good thing about CCP is that ever since that a little accident a few years back when they started to ignore the fans and the fans decided to just blow shit up in the server to get their attention, they love us now. They love us and pay attention to us. They know that if they make us mad, we'll let them know by blowing up another station.
It's people. There are stories of people play World of Warcraft. I totally take this game seriously and everything because I play 40 hours a week. I will guarantee you none of that shit comes close to the people who take EVE seriously. If you listen to some of the stories, people who really give a shit about EVE, you ever hear some of their stories, it is fucking crazy. And at the same time, EVE is something I would never play, but at the same time, I am glad that something like that exists.
EVE is an amazing experience.
EVE isn't the game for me, but I do see its appeal.
Yeah,
it's an awesome game. And let's try to compare WoW with EVE, for example. WoW, you would make a guild, you invite friends over to stab stuff and kill a boss over there. In EVE, you start a corporation, you make that corporation grow, you form an alliance, make that alliance bigger, take on another alliance, like say Goon Swarm, and you can get money and start taking over planets. So you can make businesses. Start manufacturing parts and ships and weapons. Go to war, make money,
Do you
and in
watch
fact,
extra credits?
No.
I was gonna say, Game Freak, if you keep going down this hole of how far in depth Eve goes, we'll be here all fucking day. Just
Extra Credits compared WoW and Eve. And what the basic gist of it is that WoW is very much a bunch of content set by the developers.
Yes.
You do Dungeon X, get Reward Y, and then go on to Quest Z. Where Eve is very much a game that is driven almost entirely by the players themselves. It's very much it's almost its own bunch of user-driven content that it's just a set of rules that people interact with.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, right now we're doing an election right now to choose a new guy to represent us.
And they're fundamentally different games. They're both MMOs, but they are fundamentally at their very core completely separate.
Yeah, with Eve, it's pretty much, here's the tools, go have fun. Do whatever you can.
Because WoW needs expansions and new content being added perpetually to keep itself going. Whereas Eve basically say, I have the rules set down already, I can just let you guys take it from here.
Well, Eve does still do expansions.
No, they won't, but that's what they could do. Because realistically, you don't play Eve for the expansions and the quests and the new content. You play it for the player interactions.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, my friend actually just joined me recently. He's joined a pirate group, I think. I don't know.
I think if people experimented with that kind of MMO more, it'd be interesting. Because the way it's set up, Eve does not interest me in the least bit. But I can definitely see potential in that type of model.
Yep. Well, actually, that does remind me. Another particular game that's in the works, Star Citizen, is kind of doing the same thing with that, but in their own way. It's still a space sim, though, but they're making them more immersion into it, though. Again, seriously, why don't you people watch Star Citizen? I'm watching it 24/7. I'm the only guy here who talks about it.
Because it doesn't fall on my radar.
Well, it's also because we don't have that much information about it. I mean, once more information about Star Citizen comes out, yeah, I'll be riding the hype train.
You can go to the freaking website. They update the thing every week.
Well, defending Star Citizen aside.
Yeah. Next up, we got.
Fuck you, you lazy pricks.
Oh, trust me, I have no doubt that Star Citizen is a good game. Anyways, moving on. We got a couple of stories coming out from Square Enix. First up...
should I get my popcorn? What bullshit is Square Enix doing?
Yeah, first up, Square Enix has officially revealed that they are developing a project linked to the Legacy of Kain series.
What?
Yeah, Square Enix community manager George Kellyan had this to say about a project set in the same world, saying the project known as Nosgoth. Nosgoth exists and is in active development, but is not a traditional Legacy of Kain action-adventure game. Nosgoth is set in the same universe as the previous Legacy of Kain games, but on a different branch to the Blood Omen and Soul Reaver series. The community should not be thinking of Nosgoth in terms of a single-player experience.
Boo. Get fucked. What? My continuation.
What?
Can you repeat that for me?
Yeah, repeat that for me too. I missed that.
Okay.
Get fucked. That's what I said. No, I want... No, okay. So...
No, I understood you and Chucky very, very clearly.
Yeah, I can understand that easily.
No, okay, as somebody who has played every game in this freaking series and has followed the story and gives a shit about these characters, and for them to come out and say, like, yeah, we're gonna make something, but it's not gonna be, you know, the dramatic conclusion that we should have had a fucking decade ago. Ever since, you know, Defiance, which was the last game in the series, is like, cool, awesome. They have this great, tremendous setup. It's like, what are they gonna do next? Oh, not a damn thing. Fuck you. Like,
I hate to say it, but I'm going to add some more coal to that fire, Charky, because this links into another story in the fact that Nosgoth is not being made by Crystal Dynamics.
Some fire for your ass.
Well, they got to work on Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah, according to Square Enix community manager George Kellyan. He said that although it's not in development by Crystal Dynamics, the developer who made every game in the franchise, with the exception of the original Blood Omen, is working on the game.
I mean, at the same time, I'll probably be waiting to see like what it is that they are doing, because yeah, it pisses me off to no end that they're not really going to continue the story. If anything, they're probably making something that takes place within some set time period, what have you. But I will say, if they don't get Simon Templeman and Michael Bell back to do voices for this game, they have fucked up. And for those of you who don't know, Simon Templeman was famous for doing the voice for Kane. He was also worked on a few one of the voices that I remember from Mass Effect 2 and 3. He was one of the admirals.
Admiral Chorus.
Yes, yeah. And
the only admiral that was remotely tolerable.
Yeah, because he had that posh British accent, which made him sound.
And he
cool.
was the actually only good guy amongst them, besides Tally, if you made her an admiral.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what game is this again?
Admiral Chorus von Quib.
From the Mass Effect games.
Oh, Mass Effect. Okay.
But he played as Kane within the series, and Michael Bell, who played as Raziel, who was the other main character from the Soul Reaver games, as well as in Defiance. Now Tony J, I know they won't be getting him back because he is no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
But still, if you're gonna do something like this, if you're not gonna continue the story, at least give me some fucking fan service.
Yeah.
Like penny shots?
No, it'll remain to be seen if they actually.
Uh-oh. The mic died.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the mic died.
Oh.
Congratulations, gamer. You just ruined the whole mood.
On the other hand, 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it just died just now for one time. That's actually very impressive.
No,
Very impressive.
got a little bit of an interruption. Sorry about that. Anyways, moving on.
And we're back.
It will remain to see if they will give fan service for this. I mean, they better, or else I can bet there'll be a lot of fans still just like
I mean, the last thing they did,
torches and pitchforks.
the last thing they did, anything with this was when they had Kane and Raziel as guest stars in Lara Croft.
Oh yeah, that DLC.
And the Guardian of Light.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it's not going to be like the last Kane Lynch game.
No,
Lynch.
Kane Lynch. Fuck that
Fuck.
game. Anyways, moving on. Next up for Square Enix news, they have announced that the future of Final Fantasy will be revealed Tuesday, 9 a.m., June 11th, day one of E3.
Cool, so I have something to watch after the Nintendo conference.
Speaking as one of the 6 people on the planet that actually still likes Final Fantasy at this point,
Me.
Yeah.
I'm
Same
actually
here.
pretty interested.
I'm more interested in seeing if they're still going to call Final Fantasy Versus 13 the title, or if the rumors are true that they've just ditched the title and Versus 13 will be Final Fantasy 15.
I'd rather
Maybe.
Here's my thing to Square Enix. If you want me to care about your game, show me the fucking gameplay. Don't show me a bunch of cinematic cutscenes that you worked years on to make
Can
them
we
look.
extend that to every trailer ever?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Can we please extend that to every trailer ever? Because that pisses me off so much.
But when they show off like Final Fantasy 13, what do they show? Fucking lightning flipping around dudes with their dual guns and jumping and flipping and in the
Doing
Blam,
flips
boom,
and shit.
zip
But
of
that
the
was actually in the game, though.
Yeah, the
That
game
was
was a fucking hallway crawl.
Hallway, hallway, hallway. Hallway, hallway, hallway.
It's
So
the corridor. I like to call that game the corridor.
Yes.
We're talking about the corridor now, aren't we?
Yeah, we've jumped to the corridor of 13.
Yeah.
we'll see.
But yeah, they will be revealing that via their live stream that will be up on their YouTube channel. They've also revealed that they've also shown off a new trailer for Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns.
Woo!
Bad news though. Bad news though.
All right, no.
The game's been delayed to 2014.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I kind of expected that to happen. Before
Yeah.
with you.
As
Because
of,
Square is not good at keeping dates.
Yeah, as of right now, Final Fantasy 13, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 will be hitting North America store shelves on February 11th, 2014.
At this point, Square Enix is slower than Valve when it comes to making games.
Oh, shit.
I have a question.
Yes.
I got an answer.
Why?
Why what?
Why are they making another Final Fantasy 13 game?
Because 13.2 literally ended with to be continued.
Yes.
And they have to finish the 13 saga.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding. It literally ended with to be
please, just kill me already, okay? Don't make me suffer through this!
Oh, God.
Just take a fucking nailed bat to my head!
You have the option to just not buy the game.
I never even played the game! And I'm so mad!
Why do you hate it if you never played it?
Yeah,
Because it's just a big fucking slap in the face, that's why!
I personally,
if you actually played the game, you actually like it.
I was going to say, personally, I'd be livid if I'd actually paid money and played through all that crap.
I mean, it's just an embarrassment to gaming. That's all. I mean, look, I've played some bad. I played a few bad Fantasy Star. Almost a Fantasy Star. Final Fantasy games. I mean, I played 2 to the end.
2 was not that bad.
2 wasn't that bad. Just the system
I didn't
was
say 2. I didn't mean 2. I meant 10.
You meant 10-2.
No, not 10-2. God, no.
10 was an excellent game. What the hell are you talking about?
10 was good.
10 was an okay game. Although I do have to agree with Spoonie on a few points about it.
Oh yeah, Titus was kind of a meh protagonist.
Especially with Titus being, and actually I do agree that Titus and the laughing scene.
Oh, don't get me started on that, please.
It's like, better with that scene.
I'm with both of you. I get that it was supposed to be like they were fake laughing. I get that. But it is still painful to watch.
Yeah,
I actually saw the.
It's the equivalent of nails on a chalkboard.
I saw the Japanese version of them laughing, guys. Okay, it's just as worse.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna say one thing. About 10. It's probably the only thing that anybody here or anybody in the chat gives a shit about. Ronsos.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, Orn. Oh, and don't forget Orn.
You fucker.
you know that cool guy with the big ass sword.
God damn it.
Anyways, getting back on track. Thankfully the footage that they showed off is actual some gameplay footage, so we get an idea of how the game flows, and that you'll pretty much only be able to control Lightning in the game, who has access to a number of different schema, which just changes her role and ability layout. And each scheme has
more hallways. Don't forget more hallways.
From the trailer, there wasn't that many hallways. There were some open areas.
Hallways in 13 too.
Yeah, they got rid of the hallways in there too.
It took them 3 times to figure that out.
Yeah. Also, worth knowing that there also is quite possibly an ultimate box planned for when when Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 comes out, to contain all 3 of the games in the Final Fantasy 13 saga.
Oh god!
The HD collection.
Pretty much from what they showed off, the whole thing with Lightning being able to change her abilities is pretty much like the Dress Sphere from 10-2.
Dress Sphere combined with the Paradigm System.
Ooh.
Oh god.
That sounds like fun.
I don't want to do the Dress Spheres, please. Not again.
I like that. I like that.
That was a really good concept as far as
13-2 was fun to play.
That was a solid mechanic.
Playing fucking Barbie dolls, guys.
13-2 was fun to play.
No, you gotta look at it as a strategy standpoint, Game Freak. I mean, you gotta see it at that. I mean, it's just pretty much a strategy kind of thing, being able to switch roles on the fly like that or something around that line.
It still felt like fan service.
I like the Final Fantasy games that let you switch jobs. I like that kind of customization in my games.
Yeah.
That's why they had different classes. They have different characters for different classes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was really not seen that much.
Oh, call me a traditionalist.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on.
Anyway, moving on. Couple of Diablo 3 stories.
No,
just to
Diablo 3. Oh,
here we go. First off, new Diablo 3 director looks ahead at the game's future.
It looks bleak.
And it's a future without the auction house.
Yeah. At the start of this year, Diablo 3, the now Diablo 3 director Jay Wilson has announced his plan to move on from one of the most challenging and rewarding periods of my life to work on another project within Blizzard. A replacement for the position has been found. The new game director, the current director is Jay Wilson. New game director is going to be Josh Mosekira. I think that's how you say his last name.
Mosekira.
Yeah, and he described his past in a blog post and said what he plans on next for Diablo 3. He says that our goal is to make the loot experience more enjoyable for all players. This includes reducing the amount of loot that drops while improving the overall quality, introducing targeted legendaries, and giving players ways to directly customize their character's armor, both visually and mechanically. We're also looking into ways to reduce the impact of the auction house. While we think that the feature does provide a lot of value, it shouldn't feel like the end-all, be-all force-driving character progression.
Yeah, actually, this doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, because my biggest issue with Diablo 3 was simply because of the fact that I felt like I had to go to the auction house and buy shit before I could complete that game.
Everyone's issue.
Yeah, my first playthrough, I was doing fine until I get to the final chapter. Then I get my ass kicked. What the hell? Then I spend, whatever gold that I wasn't using. I mean, because I wasn't using gold in the campaign anyway. And then I use some gold in the auction house, and next thing I know, I'm completely overpowered and nothing in the final chapter touches me. What the hell?
Yeah, that again, auction house just hurt Diablo 3 so much. Well, also was just the sorriest excuse for, wasn't the sorriest excuse for online DRM. That came from EA's explanation for fucking SimCity. But yeah, at least this guy, he sees that the auction house is a problem, and he wants to address it and lessen its impact.
And as a result, all the console versions will not have it to their benefit.
Yeah, and speaking of console versions, not only is the PS3 getting Diablo 3, but also is the 360. Yep.
The only thing that happens is the one.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is, I'll be glad when they're done working on Diablo 3 for whatever versions they do, then they can stop all this nonsense and get working on to something they should be making, like Rock and Roll Racing.
Yeah. But yeah, the Xbox 360 version is joining, the PS3 version and the announced PS4 version as well.
I hear they're also going to have boost drop rates compensate for the lack of an auction house.
Yep. So,
next story.
The future of Diablo 3 looks a little bit brighter, but I don't put as much as, say, things are going to get very much better with this. No, it's still pretty bad. Anyway, next up, we have a open beta announcement. Company of Heroes 2 hits open beta, so, yeah, you want to try it out? Get it while you can.
I already own it.
From now until June 18th, Company of Heroes 2 will be free to play and try out in its open beta stage before it closes up and becomes, you pretty much have to buy it to play it.
Yeah.
For the final release. In addition, along with opening up to more players, the game has also been given a lot of patching and rebalancing based on feedback from previous closed betas. So, if you were part of one of the original closed betas and you didn't like how some things were balanced, or you felt like something was completely just overpowered, definitely try and revisit it.
On a side note, another game also had open beta today. I think Spy Party is now in open beta now too.
Well, I've actually been playing the game just tonight with a friend of mine.
Yeah. How is it?
I have to say it's actually pretty good. The Russians are kind of like orcs in my opinion. They have more soldiers than the Germans do. Combat armor it's actually a little different. It's a little bit less focused on base building and definitely more on the action. Definitely.
Company of Heroes was never like big on the whole base building kind of RTS.
What exactly kind of game is Company of Heroes? Like, I've never played this.
It's an RTS.
It is a real-time strategy.
Okay, so are we talking like StarCraft?
Not so much StarCraft and the fact that you don't really have a base.
Did you ever
have it's more like an outpost.
Did you ever see anything from the Warhammer 40K Dawn of War games?
Very little.
Well, it was basically those same developers. and to their credit, like, those guys, Company of Heroes, Dawn of War, those to me were like the only real games that did something different with real-time strategy, and something that did something new and it did something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
I still need to play Dawn of War 2.
And hearing Enigma's sigh, I think we better move away from this.
Oh no, I was just yawning.
Well, anyway,
it's getting late.
Yeah, we're coming up towards the roundup point. Next up, Konami has let loose who's the voice of Big Boss, and it's Jack Bauer.
Dun dun dun.
Yep, Kiefer Sutherland is the voice of Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Cannot wait for that.
As who here is Metal Gear fans, and what is your reaction to it?
Okay, so as a
want, and want.
Okay, so as a reaction to this, I still think it sucks that they didn't reach out to David Hayter to offer him the role, because nothing against Kiefer Sutherland, but in my opinion, I prefer to have real voice actors.
You prefer the originals.
Well, not even just that. Like, I prefer, the people who are primarily voice actors. They're not really, on camera,
TV,
stage actors, celebrities.
Yeah.
Because, we've seen, movies that, they make some animated movie and they make a big deal out of it because they got all these celebrity voices, and then you get something fucked up like Sinbad. Yeah. Just, fucking Sinbad.
I have an idea. We could have either Troy Baker or Northern North do Solid Snake.
Anyways, Kojima made a statement about the announcement that Kiefer Sutherland would voice Snake. He said that since Snake is 49 years old, they needed an older voice to fit the role, and also Kojima decided on Sutherland because he also has, Kiefer is not foreign to being a voice actor, as he did voice a character in Call of Duty World at War, along with voicing a character for Street Fighter X Tekken.
Yeah. No joke.
I'm actually trying to remember what theme is Metal Gear Solid 5. It's either with Big Boss or Younger
Snake. It's Big
Snake.
Boss. It's pretty much a Big Boss.
Big Boss. Yeah,
they should have had, and this is no joke, they should have had Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, I think
imagine
the voice of Batman being Snake. Wow. Mind blown.
Honestly, that probably caused too much of a disconnect for me. I don't know.
I just had a thought. I just want to see this now.
Kiefer Sutherland, I'm sure he'll do a good job. And if you were going to get a big time, well, I don't know about big time, but if you're going to get a celebrity to do that, Kiefer Sutherland is somebody that kind of pulls off the gruff, kind of veteran soldier type of archetype almost.
Yeah. As a fan of the Metal Gear series, when they announced news, I definitely was upset that Hayter was going to be the new voice. But the thing is, as a Sonic fan, I've gone through at least, at this point, 3-4 voice actors for Sonic.
Pretty much.
And, pretty much for me, when it comes to a new voice actor, as long as they can, nail the mannerisms of the character perfectly, I honestly don't give two shits the voice has changed.
Okay, be careful, Tails.
I'm
actually thinking back to the very first Sonic voice actor, who was
White.
Tail White.
Yeah.
Remember that, people?
It's not he's first, so he's the one that should always be it. Because Mark Hamill, he did the Joker for years and years until he finally retired from the role, and then later on we had
that man.
And then later on we had John DiMaggio, who voiced the Joker for Batman Under the Red Hood, which is a great movie. And while, it may not be what a lot of people come to expect from the Joker, John DiMaggio still does a really good job at that movie. So,
and to be fair, Mark Hamill's shoes as Joker are really tough to fill.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, totally agree on that.
To even come close to defeating it in of itself.
Yeah. All right, moving on from that. Bad news for Amnesia fans. Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs has been pushed back yet again.
Really?
Yep.
PewDiePie is going to be so sad.
Yeah. To quote from Frictional Games, it said that we are optimizing, tweaking, and in general putting the FG expertise to good use. Developer, the Chinese Room keeps playing and work well. Oh wait, sorry, that was actually the publisher, not the developer. Sorry about that. They plan to work well. These are companies working on the translations. Will launch since the game will actually be launching in 9 different languages in addition to original English. And the porting guys are porting away. Deals are being made. Things are being prepared for launching the game through more online stores than any FG game before. In general, occupied with all things related. As a result of this, Machine for Pigs has now been pushed out of the Q2 2013 window of release.
I'm sure there were some people in marketing that were all concerned, saying like, "Why there aren't enough deals that could be made to sell a game like this." And then somebody from the team was probably like, "That all depends on what one defines as a game."
But yeah, those looking for that
clever joke.
Yeah, yeah. Sadly, those looking for the the next just completely immersive, scary goddamn experience are just trying to get themselves another Let's Play on YouTube. Are gonna have to wait a longer time.
I honestly don't mind waiting. I mean, the first game was great, and you know, there's no doubt in my mind that the next one should hopefully be as good as the first one. So if I have to wait a couple of more months,
the trailers already have me on edge because of just how unsettling some of the stuff that they're going for is. Like, dear God, what are they going to do?
Newsflash, EA, and then suddenly, newsflash, EA decides to buy rights for Amnesia and puts guns in the games.
Well, fuck you.
Please.
No, they have microtransactions in it.
Yeah.
Do you want us to turn off the scare effect? Pay us $5.
Oh God.
You want us to turn on the blood effect? Pay us $10.
Oh jeez. Anyways,
the game? Pay us 20.
Speaking of microtransactions, a free-to-play game has just lost all of its pay-to-win stuff. World of Tanks has dropped every single thing that is pretty much pay-to-win.
Really?
Yeah, in a recent question-and-answer session with Gamasutra, World of Tanks developer Wargaming.net shared that it has decided to drop all pay-to-win microtransactions. Common issue facing the free market with its current games and all games going forward. This includes their upcoming game. It was like World of
Warplanes.
World of Warplanes. Yes. The pay-to-win stuff was pretty much just the harder-hitting ammo and also some of the tanks that were actually better than the ones you could actually just get from getting the economy that the amount of in-game economy that you get from games.
Yeah, the reputation that game had was one of the reasons why I never really went near it. I mean, yeah, it's just...
Yeah, so rather than planning to focus on selling enhanced items, the new revenue will come in part from cosmetic items, a strategy that has worked well for games such as Team Fortress 2 and its many hats.
When will you give us more guns, Valve? I want a new rocket launcher.
They are. It's just now it's coming up towards the community to develop.
Don't you want a new hat?
No, I want you to add more guns that the community is making for me. I saw a guy who makes a damn destroyer.
Well, according to TF2 lore, the robots are going to try to sell you hats. So
I want more hats.
Yeah, that's
I
the current
want fucking guns.
I love now we're calling TF2 lore as if TF2.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So read the comics, my friends.
I read the comics. I already read the comics, dude, and I already know that Red and Blue Team's founders are a bunch of idiots.
They're dead.
Yeah, they're all dead now.
Yeah, they're dead now, but they used to be idiots.
Yeah, but this is
They're
good.
trying to get each other pregnant, for God's sakes. And they're wrinkly old men.
Well, the guy who was responsible for the robots wasn't too much of a genius either, making his robots run on money.
Yeah.
But it was amazing that he did that, though.
Anyways, it's good to see that, you know, these guys, the Wargaming.net has decided to actually ditch this, and I really feel that they're going to get a whole bunch of more traffic now that the pay-to-win stuff is completely gone. Because that was my main turnoff with World of Tanks as well, was the whole the premium ammo stuff that just hit harder.
Yeah. Now, if APB Reloaded would do that.
Yeah, doubt it. That thing's been...
APB Reloaded has got to do a bunch of shit to get me to go near that again.
Yeah.
Fuck that game.
Next up, 2 fighters are going to be getting some free-to-play installments. So one of them is actually out right now, and that's Dead or Alive 5. Dead or Alive 5 is PS3 inbound with a free-to-play version, and talks of a 360 version.
Wait, is this going to be Dead or Alive Volleyball or the fighting game?
No, this is the fighting game. Dead or Alive 5.
Okay.
Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate is going free to play.
Hang on, Titus, your mic's low. Is kind of low.
That's it. Don't you mean Tekken Revolution?
Tekken Revolution is also a free to play fighter, but again, this is both of these. Dead or Alive 5 is going free to play, and Tekken Revolution is an exclusive free to play game for the PS3 only, and it's hitting the PSN network on Tuesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for Dead or Alive 2. Yeah, for Dead or Alive 5, they're saying that the Team Ninja's saying the setup would go something like this: series staples Ryu, Hayate, Katsumi, and Ayane will all be available in the base game, with all the other fighters available as AI opponents. Online play will be enabled for the basic version, as well as the offline training and tutorial modes. Additional modes and fighters would stay behind a paywall, but Tecmo will be offering trial periods for all purchasable fighters.
That's cool. Now, did you say anything about boob physics?
Wait, but didn't they just say they're going to release a new version of Dead or Alive 5 called something?
No, this is just Dead or Alive Ultimate. That's it. Dead or Alive Ultimate.
I will say that there can be something of a precedent for, you know, instead of having to pay $60 for a fighting game that has like 20-some characters and you're maybe only going to use like 2 or 3, you know, if somebody was willing to pay like maybe $10 and only have the fighters that they were going to use, you know, it might not be a bad idea, but it kind of depends on the execution.
True enough. As for Tekken Revolution, like I said, it will be on the PlayStation Network service starting Tuesday, and a trailer was shown out for it as a pre-E3 kind of show-off. As of right now, it's unknown what modes will be playable, how many characters will be available when the game launches, though the trailer did only revealed 4 of them, Kazuya, Lars, Brian, and Paul, and also it's unknown what things players can purchase from the cash shop. Luckily, won't be long until we find out about it, since it will be coming out on Tuesday.
I imagine a lot of it would be, you know, cosmetic items, given Tekken's history, especially when they did Tekken Tag Tournament 2. You know, ever since probably Tekken 5, they've been doing this, where you have the ability to get all these crazy costume items and stuff from within the game, and then add them, you know, just being able to play dress up with the various characters. So I imagine they could probably implement, you know, cosmetic items of the cash shop that way.
Yeah, it'll remain to be seen what will happen. I mean, as of right now, it's pretty well. I mean, don't know when Dead or Alive 5 is coming. Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate going free to play on PS3 definite. Who knows when for the Xbox 360? But don't know. We'll have to see what happens with Revolution, as in what they'll be giving, you know, just right off the bat, completely free.
I mean, it's definitely that's gonna be. I mean, I know I'm gonna be a day one probably download this, because I mean, you know, next week, you know, we've got Tekken Revolution, as well as the first U.S. demo of the new Hatsune Miku game comes out as well.
Yes.
PSN.
Yep. Who? Game Freak, you had something to say?
I just have to pee.
Oh, jeez.
Don't pee, man.
Anyways, well, we're almost done. We got a couple more announcements here. First off, this is a Y announcement. Eidos Montreal teased that a new game called Deus Ex: The Fall would be coming, and then they revealed it beyond mobile devices. Fuck.
And the sad part is, if it wasn't on mobile, I'd be interested.
Yes. Yeah. Same here.
Because it looks like a great Deus Ex game. It's just that I had no interest in buying an iOS tablet just to play it.
No, and not only that, what hurts even more is the fact that this game is concurrent with the series. So if you miss out on this game, you miss out on a chunk of story.
Okay, but still, here's the thing though: is that even if you don't have an iOS device, and if you're so hung up on story, within the day or two of the game's release, there will be a full wiki article explaining the entire plot events.
Yeah,
but you still want to play the game.
I just don't understand the decision to move it to iOS. I just
really
think
makes sense.
So here's where I think. Okay, my theory on why they decided to put it on iOS is because number one, Square Enix, they look at the console market, they look at the PC market, whatever, and they think all this stuff is a failure, that everything's underperforming, and iOS games, they're a lot cheaper to make than console or PC games, and I'm pretty sure they feel if we can do something that kind of ties into a franchise that we have and make it for something that would cost us less money than making a console game, then I'm pretty sure so from a business decision, that's probably why they did it, because it would be cheaper to make.
Why don't they just team up with Steam, though?
Why don't they just make a PC version,
I know, seriously.
Yeah, why don't they just work with Steam and make a digital version, and then it can be available for both iOS and the PC?
I know, this honestly, it just... The fact that they're doing this, especially Deus Ex... Deus Ex I really don't think is going to do well with touchscreen controls at all.
Yeah,
but then again, what game does? What full-fledged game does? I mean, if any of you tried the Mass Effect Infiltrator thing or whatever the hell that was called, oh my god, that was just horrible control-wise.
Fucking hated that.
Mobile games are just meant to play a stupid little game while you're in the waiting room for your dentist. That's all it's supposed to be.
Basically, it's basically match 3 games and launching birds at pigs. That's it. That's it.
Well, I mean, mobile games could be better if you could just give me a fucking controller.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm going to see this thing probably working. But with
those little control pad things
with the video that they showed the announcement, I don't even think a controller will even work with this, because you'll have to use the touchscreen to get at some of these buttons or whatever.
Yeah, it's.
So what the fuck, iOS Montreal? What the fuck? Next up.
Oh, they are owned by Square Enix now, and Square Enix has a record of being stupid.
Anyways, next up. Lionhead Studios has confirmed that they are working on a HD version of the original Fable game titled Fable Anniversary for the Xbox 360.
I heard about that. I'm actually excited.
Yeah, I am too, because the original Fable was good. The only thing is, though, if it's only going to be on if it's only going to be on 360, that's going to be a fucking disappointment, because I got it on PC and I enjoyed it.
Oh. Well, too bad.
Yeah, that's
I still have my PC version of that game. So
what game is this again?
Fable, the original Fable.
Yeah, I still have the PC version. I was kind of disappointed when Xbox. I'm like, well, that's nice. Not really.
It's just like they do with Halo Anniversary.
Yeah, it's still a disappointment, because I want to see this one.
Well, at least it's not Fable 4.
Don't count your chickens before they become...
Before you kick them?
Oh god, if you've seen the trailer, you'll see the friggin' hashtag they put up. Hide the chickens. Good lord.
Hide your chickens, hide your dogs.
What is with them with chickens? I don't get it.
It's chickens too much. Lots of chickens in Fable 3.
I know you kick a lot of chickens, but still, they make it like a co-star of the game.
Because PETA runs the game behind the scenes.
You mean the crazy guys who made that totally what the fuck game because of the Tanuki suit?
All this talk of kicking chickens is just reminding me of this comic strip I read that a guy is singing karaoke badly, and he's trying to sing "Get Jiggy with It," but he's singing it as "Kick a Chicken" in it. Like,
oh my god! Surprisingly, that fits. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh, good lord. Anyways,
I
now
actually want to get. I want to kick a chicken now.
Oh,
in real
good
life.
lord. I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't do that. You'd probably end up with like a result like the friggin' cuckoos from Zelda.
Or you would have the farmer shoot a giant hole in your chest with his 12 gauge.
True, that too.
Actually, I know a guy who has chickens. I can probably just kick his.
Anyways, last up, some quick game announcements.
The fact that GF is endorsing Kickin' Chicken.
Yes.
Chicken Kickin'.
Chicken. Both work so
Focus,
well
gamer,
together.
Focus.
Anyways, our last bit of news comes for game announcements. First up, a early pop-up from the near the LA Convention Center shows off Dark Souls 2 is coming March 2014.
Cool.
Yep. And as of right now, it's been confirmed that Dark Souls 2 still coming to PS3, PC, and Xbox 360. So no worries there.
Awesome.
Next up, Castlevania: Lords of Shadow has been confirmed to come to the PC this August.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
3 years
that
after.
I am looking forward to.
3 years after the original
I never
release
played
on the
Castlevania.
3 years after the release of the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions, it's finally coming out onto PC. It will be it will also have the subtitle Ultimate Edition. So it's been confirmed that the game will include not just the original game, but also
all the DLC.
Yeah, also the 2 DLC add-ons, Reverie and Resurrection, all in one package. Konami
Nice.
is also promising that the Ultimate Edition will boast enhanced 1080p HD graphics and will run at a solid 60 frames per second via recommended specs.
Yeah, but say all considering if you have the right cards and settings for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
No word on pricing right now, but presumably Konami's not going to be foolish enough to have a full charge on the game.
Honestly, I see the Ultimate Edition probably going for about $40.
Yeah,
what
40
I'm
or
assuming.
$30 probably.
Same here, and especially in my honest opinion, as a Castlevania fan and as a fan of that game, those DLC levels were shit. I hated those, like especially not the first one, but the second one that had that last final boss or whatever. I fucking hated that boss fight. I hated those stages.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Are we almost done?
Gee, you don't have to stay.
All right. Next up,
Oh, you're not the
DuckTales
one who has to go pee.
Remastered. DuckTales Remastered has been confirmed for the PC.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Now
Capcom
let's-
was said to be working on confirming a PC version of DuckTales Remastered, and now it can finally fully confirm it.
Yeah, it'll be on Steam.
Yeah, it'll be hitting Steam, Origin, Impulse, Gamersgate, Green Man Gaming, and more. So there's
Now
options.
Now everyone can sing along to the song.
The game is also and again the game will be priced around $15 and will launch around the same window as the Xbox 360, PS3, and the Wii U versions.
I hope it does
Awesome.
well so they can make Rescue Rangers.
Yeah. Also,
Hell yes.
Capcom is also teasing a new level reveal very soon, leading up to E3.
The only thing I can see them doing a new level for is if they axe the final level once you return to Transylvania. But that could be it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually need to sit down and replay DuckTales on the NES.
Next up, Plants vs. Zombies 2 finally got its date announcement. It's being called Plants vs. Zombies 2. It's about time. For July 8th, and it's planned to be released July 18th, 2013 on iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch at first, with PC versions following later on. Also, this game is free to play, and that's what makes me scared.
I mean, all it's going to entail is a shit ton of microtransactions, which is both sad,
Pretty
but
much.
that's pretty much what I can see out of a PopCap game. Period.
Yeah, especially since I don't even think like the original creators had anything to do with this one.
I don't think the creators were involved with it at all.
Yeah, I'm definitely concerned about this, so we'll have to see what happens, but I'm not going to be happy about the whole microtransactions being in this.
I'm kind of indifferent towards it because I never really cared about Plants vs Zombies. I never saw what the big hype train was.
The only thing I remember,
it's a good tower defense if you like tower defense.
The only thing I remember Plants vs Zombies for is when they had to take out the Michael Jackson zombie because the Jackson estate actually came out and thought it was offensive.
Yeah.
And they replaced it with the disco zombie.
Yeah.
And that was it.
But hey, since Michael Jackson's dead, maybe they might bring him back.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, it will remain to be seen if this comes out well, microtransaction-wise, because if it's gonna block your progress in the game overall, I'm gonna be pissed. And lastly, Skylanders Swap Force has been announced to hit store shelves October 13th, and I had to say, check out the trailer. I like it.
So
it's got friggin' they're using weapon of choice, okay? They're using Fat Boys as a weapon of choice for the show off of this, and that already is a win for me.
Yeah, the
Skylanders.
So the big thing about
to compete against it.
Well, so here's the thing.
Disney has their thing coming out soon.
Yeah, Disney Infinity, but Skylanders has been around for longer than that has.
So here's the thing about Skylanders, for those of you who don't know anything about it. So for this game, one of the big conceits is that they're going to have figures that have swappable parts. So you can take the top half of one figure and combine it with the bottom half of another figure and make and that shows up in the game.
Yeah, it says that's the big draw of this game. It's that 16 of the 32 new figures can be split in half and combined with each other to form up to 256 heroes with different abilities.
It's a nice little concept.
And the thing was, I remember listening to Jeff Gertzman talk about this. He had talked to the guys, working on the game, and he was looking at one of the figures, and he didn't suspect anything about it. He's like, "Yeah, that looks cool. All right, whatever." And then one of the guys working on the game just took it from him and was like, "Check this fucking shit out." Swapped the figures, and he was like, "Oh damn! You done changed the game."
Anyways, as for the game itself, the game will be on Wii U, Xbox 360, PS3, and 3DS, with Xbox One and PS4 versions coming out later on.
It's like Activision looking at Disney saying, "We got swappable parts, bitch."
And that pretty much sums it up for us for this week. Before the chaos that is E3.
Oh, Seth?
The only thing we missed that we didn't talk about is Sega came out this week and announced that Hatsune Miku Project Diva F will be coming out stateside in August.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
Anyone who's a huge fan of the Hatsune Miku or just in rhythm games in general, this is probably the next coolest thing for those who are fans of Japan's rhythm games. And the demo will be live sometime this week.
Yeah, when is Sega going to announce Scars of Arcadia 2?
But no, I saw the arcade version of that. I saw the arcade version of that, so I'm guessing it must have gotten some good press.
So entertaining.
Being in round one arcades.
Yep. Unfortunately, they didn't take off as well as round one hoped, so the arcade isn't up at round one anymore, or at least the one I go to.
Yeah, it's still up over at mine in Moreno Valley.
Huh.
Yeah, it's actually right in front. It's right. You don't have to go that far. It's right near the bowling lane. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was holding out for Shenmue 3 for the longest time, but that shit ain't happening.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's it for us.
Now?
Yes. Well, after we sign off. Anyways. This is all from us for this week before the chaos that is E3, which you can bet that us at GF, we will be covering like crazy. So expect lots of live streams, expect lots of reports. You'll definitely get your news.
I know JoJo, I already told him I'd play devil's advocate with him on the Xbox One reveal, so...
Oh, God.
Godspeed. Godspeed with you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to probably be joining in on those live stream viewings if I can.
Take care.
Anyways, take care, everyone. We'll catch y'all next week, giving the post-E3 roundup, if you will.
Take care and good morning.
Good morning.
Later.
See y'all.